Hi, Sam Sorbo here for the Accidental Homeschooler. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going through a week of comments and little notes that I've gotten from people. And today we're going to talk about self-discipline and the way that homeschool sort of works around that. This is the comment that I got. Home encourages self-discipline, a safe environment to learn. You read when it interests you. You can talk about the Lord and his teaching anytime. That's true. And then this person says learning to cook, garden, having backyard chickens, which I actually read this online on Saturday when I did the live Facebook because I love my chickens. I don't have them right now because I'm sort of in flux, but I do miss my chickens. They were just lovely. They're stupid as all get out, but they're really lovely. I don't know. There's something really neat about them. Having backyard chickens counts as math and sciences. So I just love this comment because I think number one is home education teaches the child about self-discipline. It pretty much can't help but do that. I think that our school, our education system does go in that direction as well. But as for a safe environment to learn, well, it depends on the kid. Reading when it interests you, not in the schools. You're on a bell. You gotta go by the bell, which I think is actually a mistake in a system of learning. Do you ever feel like? In fact, I just read an article about this, that you have like a tide. You have ebbs and flows. And so in a flows time, you're like raring to go and you got energy and you're going to get stuff done. But then you have those times of ebbing where you're just like, oh, I'm so tired. Why do I have to work, right? And so in an ebb time, I'll clean the kitchen. Like, I just can't think right now. So I'll clean the kitchen because that's sort of a rote activity and I can just do it. And it gives me time to just sort of unwind and relax and stuff. And in this article, the gal was pointing out, choose your jobs according to how you're feeling. If you're in an ebb time, don't try to write in your book or, get that letter written to that person or, don't. Like, you have to discern what is the appropriate activity for the way you're feeling, because what will happen is, and she points this out in the article, she tells a whole story, I'm not going to get into it, but it's sort of like you wanted to get, I can't remember, you wanted to get the leaves raked and it's blustery, rainy outside and the wind's blowing, and so but you're like, no, I'm going to get the leaves raked even though you feel bad and you don't want to. And you go outside and rake leaves for an hour, and then a big gust of wind comes and blows the leaves around, and you get soot in your face, and it's terrible, and so you had a terrible day. Whereas if you had just said, you know what, it's windy and blustery, and I really don't feel like doing it, I'm going to curl up with a book and drink hot chocolate, you would have had a great day, because you would have read the book that you wanted to read, right? You've been wanting to read that book for a while. I'm not saying you just goof off. I'm saying you get stuff done that you feel like you're competent to do in the moment. And it's the same thing with home education. So if your kid's having an off day, take a break. Give him something different to do. You know what? Color this. Or if he's a little bit older, you know what? Let's do that project in the bathroom that I've been trying to get done. Let's, involve him in something that you're doing so that he can just take directions or something along those lines, right? So you're in charge. You can do that. And if you do that, if you have that in your mind, then you start paying attention to your children on a different level. And what you'll find is that your kids can teach you. If you have projects that you're involved in, even if it's like licking envelopes, and you can involve your child with you in some business that you have to get done, then you are enabling them. You are empowering them because you're making them important to you. And you'll be surprised at the things that you might learn about them while you're doing that, because that's a situation that may never have come up before. Because before, you had your work, they had their school, near the twain would meet, right? They were sequestered, far away from each other, and it wouldn't occur to you to involve them in your work because, who wants to deal with that when you're on family time or whatever. Well, now it's all commingled, and it can all come together or break out any which way you want it to. And so that's actually my tip for today, is that your kids teach you. I've learned so much from my kids, so much. And they'll teach you about yourself. They'll teach you about your values. They can teach you about life. In fact, I think God gives us our children to make us into the people that He always knew we could be. And in some respects, we often kind of miss the ball because we're thinking that we're going to be doing something else. So let's see. I covered that. I want to say that I am speaking on a panel tonight about speaking on two panels actually about home education. So one is the old schoolhouse, and the other is for the Moms March folks, and that's tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern, and I think 6 p.m. Eastern as well, both Thursday the 9th. So tune in if you get a chance. Would love to see you there. You know what I mean by that. Also subscribe to my channel, please. And go over to the official Sam Sorbo Facebook page and subscribe there. And if you want my books, they are available at samsorbo.com. Teach virtue. Teach your kids about virtue. This book, you want to learn about your kids? Read this book with them and see and have these discussions. So at the bottom of every devotional, there's some questions, and they're open-ended questions. What are some personal goals you'd like to set? Right? What are some spiritual goals you'd like to set? Wow. That's a heavy question. Have that conversation with your child and see where it goes. And then answer it for them, for yourself, right? Back to them. And share with them. Let's get that communication going. Wouldn't that be a beautiful, joyous thing? All right. That's it for me today. Thanks so much for listening. All right. We'll see you next time.